Loren, The Game of Life, it came out in 1960, a board game that you had in your household growing up.
Most definitely. We play a lot of games, played a lot of games growing up, and this is one of them.
Okay, so today what we want to do is we want to go through the milestones of life. We're kind of going to do it in numbers. So in a way, we're taking some liberties here. The board game is like a series of numbers as you move through life. And as we specifically talk about moving to and through retirement, what we want to do is give you strategies, give you tips, gives you things you should be talking to a retirement planner about, and we'll have a little fun with the game of life along the way. But we should first talk about how we look at every retirement. Whether you come talk with you, Loren, if you're 55 or 75, we apply 5 guiding principles to your retirement to help you win the game of life.
Yeah, there's 2 distinct phases of life. There's the accumulation years, then there's the retirement years. And when it comes to those retirement years, that's when it's important to really start to get organized in the form of a retirement plan. And in that retirement plan, there are 5 guiding principles. When you retire, you still need income. Your W-2 wages go away. Where's the income going to come from? When you take income, you're still going to have to pay taxes. There's long-term care Medicare planning, legacy planning, and then of course the 5th one is the investment planning principle.
Okay, so we have our cars. This is the cutest little thing. I've got 6 people in my car because I've got 4 children and my husband in here. Loren has his daughter Jace and the little dog Mocha. Mocha is in the car with Loren. So Loren, like I said, we're gonna have a little fun with this. Why don't you spin once for the first time, and then we won't spin to continue, but we'll get started on our game of 2. All right, Loren gets started on 2. Would you like me to take the? He goes 2, and let's draw a card just for fun, so we can kind of refresh ourselves on what the cards are for the game of life. I'll draw the card. I'll answer the first one.
All right,
so,
you go first.
Get a pool. I like this first card. You probably like Jace would like to get a pool as well. So it says pay the bank $50,000. Wow. Pools are expensive.
Well, that sounds a lot like today's prices.
So that's the first stop, or the first card that we've picked on the game of life. Now the first stop on your journey to and through retirement, as we pull the numbers kind of on your board game, is age 50. So you're going through the game of life, you hit age 50. What should you be thinking about in terms of retirement?
From a retirement planning standpoint, age 50 is a milestone, and a big portion of this milestone is now you're able to contribute more towards your retirement savings than what you've ever been able to do before. If you're under age 50 into your IRAs, the max you can contribute is $6,000. But at age 50, you have a $1,000 catch-up contribution, so a total now of $7,000. But here's where the real fun comes into play at age 50 is through your employer-sponsored plans, your 401k plans. Before age 50, you could only contribute up to $19,500. You get an extra $6,500 contribution bonus, if you will, once you obtain age 50 for a total contribution of $26,000. So now if you're age 50 or beyond, you can actually contribute the max to your 401k plan. And if you qualify from an income standpoint, also you can contribute the max to your IRA. So the $7,000 plus the $26,500. Now you can start saving for retirement and accumulate that wealth a lot more quicker.
And do you ever have conversations with people about, is it usually no brainer contribute that $6,500, or do they have to look at all the other moving pieces in their life too? Because at 50, I know I'll still have kids at home. A lot of people still have kids at home, so that $6,500 feels like a lot of money.
It does feel like a lot of money, and so it's different for everybody. In each one of these milestones that we talk about here on this show, the outcome or the strategies that you incorporate with it will be different for everybody. And that's the necessity of a customized written plan. As you make the transition from the working years to the retirement years, your life, your circumstances, your resources that you have, your cash flow is different than most other people. So your plan needs to be customized to your circumstance.
Okay, I have to spin. I know I can outspin a 2. That's not hard to do. I got a 3. Hey, I outspun it. Okay, I'm gonna take the bus. Here go me and the 4 kids. We got 3, and now you get to pick that card. But we'll have you.
All right, here we go. Promotion. Your hard work paid off. Spin again.
So a promotion obviously is a real piece of retirement, and the nice thing about a promotion is maybe you can contribute a little bit more to that 401k or do a little bit more retirement planning as those promotions come along. So let's talk about our next stop on the game of life, retirement style, and it's age 55. What do we need to know there?
Age 55 is an important milestone because now if you separate service from your employer and you have an employer-sponsored plan, now you have penalty-free withdrawal privilege. And this is a very little known loophole as it relates to these employer-sponsored plans. So if you're working with your employer, you're 56 years old, you retire or you get laid off, or you just decide, hey, I'm gonna go somewhere else. If you take your distributions from that employer plan, you will not have to pay that 10% penalty, even though you're under age 59 and a half. So a lot of people think 59 and a half, I take money out of my retirement plan, I'm gonna be imposed that 10% penalty. But if you take it after you separate service post 55 from that employer plan, you don't have that 10% penalty.
And when you say take it, can you take it all at once? Is that the best strategy typically, or do you want to spread that out? Or?
Well, there's a couple different things that goes into that. Let's say you can take it all at once. So if you have $200,000 underneath your employer plan, you're 56, you leave that employer, you can take that full $200,000 out. But if it's pre-tax money, meaning it's never been taxed before, it's gonna jump you up into a tax bracket that is ugly. So even though you can, you may not want to.
So you can't put it in an IRA or something right away?
You can put it into an IRA, but once you do so, now that money lives underneath the IRA rules, which means you cannot take it out until 59 and a half without the 10% penalty. So here's where a lot of the planning will come into play, especially if you want to retire prior to 59 and a half, is you may choose to leave that $200,000 there. Maybe you have some other IRA money that you know you're not going to use until post 59 and a half. Or you can say between 56 and 59 and a half, you're only going to need 100,000 of that. So many times the employer's plan will allow you to roll the 100,000, keep 100,000 there, and then you can use that for the penalty-free cash flow. Thank you for watching this clip of Retiring Today, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have questions about your retirement plan, take advantage of the complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup phone call.